What's up, guys? It's Brad Gale again, coming at you from Melbourne, Australia. Hope you all had a great week. It's happy Friday here in Melbourne. Hope you accomplished all your goals. Hopefully you accomplished any targets that you set. Hopefully you did set some. I have spoke about setting goals in the past, but just really wanted to get this live post out of the way before we have a massive weekend lined up. So I've got really cool people to meet up with, some awesome meetings lined up as well, which is really awesome. So, if you don't know a bit about me, my name is Brad Gale. I used to be in construction, working 80 hours a week, stressed to my eyeballs. And now I help people check items off their bucket list a lot sooner, and also inspire and, I guess, help people become the best version of themselves. So, that's why I'm doing these live Facebook posts. This is part number 3 of 3 from takeaways of an absolute amazing weekend I had last weekend, so almost a week ago now. If you didn't catch part 1 or 2, part 2 recently I spoke about how life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. And also success is an exact science and art is a fulfillment. So there's a differential between them two, and also the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch that after this one. But today's topic, let's get straight into it. From part 3 of 3, we spoke about awareness. I feel this is probably the most crucial thing someone can be in touch with, is self-awareness. It could be with your state, your story, or strategy. And there's 3 sort of main segments here. Be aware of your state, which is meaning physical state or emotional state. It could be a physical state, meaning like if you feel you're having a bad day, typically your shoulders are going to be slumped forward. You'll be looking at the ground a lot, and your breath will be quite shallow, and your tonality will be quite low and just sort of a bit depresso, if that makes sense. So always be aware of where your chest plate is. Your chest plate is right in the middle of your chest. If you could have a straight line pointing out towards your chest, would it be hitting the ground, or would it be pointing straight up? You always want to have it become pointing straight up. That means you're in a positive state, and your physiological state is a positive as well. So also your tonality and your energy. I'm not too sure if this has happened to you, but it used to happen to me a lot when I was younger. When I wasn't really aware of my physical state or my emotional state. I would be talking in a group of people, and you feel like no one's really listening to you. Like people just like jart off into another conversation. Like you're not really that interesting. If that is happening to you, or if you've found it happening to you, always check your tonality, your physiology, and your energy. How much energy are you bringing to the table or to the conversation? People always feed off other energy. Also, your tonality. How do you speak? If you were to share a story with someone, and Jamie Foxx is an absolute legend at storytelling. If you look up some of his interviews he does on the radio shows, or even Alan DeGeneres, he was on there sharing some stories, and you can't help it, but you're zoned right into his story, and you sort of get sucked into his little vortex of storytelling. And when he hits like a punchline, you're like, oh wow, like you sort of snap out of it a bit. So always be aware of how you say something. Don't be scared to lower your voice, because it gives it more meaning and weight. And don't also be scared to have a pause in your sentence, because there's so much more power in how you say something, let alone what you actually say. So be aware of your tonality, have great energy, which I try to do, and also your physiology. Stand upright, shoulders back, chin up, not down. Never look at the ground unless you drop something. I covered that in part number 1. And obviously your story. There's 2 types of stories someone tells themselves. So you got the story that you tell yourself every day on an everyday basis, whereas I'm not really good enough, or I don't think I can do that, or I'm too scared to do that. Or it could be something a bit more arrogant, like I'm the best in here, like no one's better than me, stuff like that. So always be aware of the story you actually tell yourself. The better story is a story where it is intertwined with the vision that you have. So always tell your story of, I've got the note here, story you want to live on purpose and act as if. So tell yourself a story like, yeah, I'm going to get this done today. I'm going to achieve whatever I set out to achieve today. I'm going to be at my absolute best. I'm going to give it my all. Not try or I'll give it a shot or anything like that. Tell yourself a story. It's positive self-talk. So definitely be aware of that. And also a strategy. you got to have a strategy. Now, a lot of people think the best strategy is with the best details and mapping everything out and knowing out all the bits and pieces, or the nuts and bolts to have this perfect strategy, then take action. I was told recently that you just start something, make the mistakes along the way, and you'll work it out. You'll work out the best strategy. But to start off with, you've got to keep it super, super simple. KISS. Keep it simple, stupid, or keep it stupid, simple. Keep something really, really simple. The reason I say that is because a confused human or a confused mind doesn't do anything. They go into overdrive, they scramble up, and they just don't do anything. Go, oh wow, it's too hard, it's too confusing. No thanks. It's like when you try and invite someone out to a party, like you give them all these details. Hey, listen, it's at this place, this person's going to be here, there's going to be that much music, there's going to be this much food, this type of alcohol, then they're going to do this thing and that thing and that thing. People are like, what the hell? Why can't you just say we're going out? And then people are more inclined to want to do that. So definitely keep it really, really simple. The next main section is archetypes. And I'm just starting to learn about this. Everyone has about 12 different archetypes. And the best way to explain it is by certain roles that you play. We're not having split personalities or anything like that, or changing yourself as a person, but everyone's got about 12 archetypes, so there's different roles they play. For example, if you're a mother or a father and you have kids or something like that, you definitely want to be a different sort of archetype than you are with your partner or in your work environment, if that makes sense. So there's 4 main ones that I've written down. There's 12 in total, but there's 4 main ones I've written down. And the first one here is a hero. So you want to put the cap on as a hero at certain areas of the day or certain stages of your life. And I'll break it down. So a hero strives for mastery to get the job done. Someone that is self-explanatory, really. Not scared, they have courage, and where there's a will, there's a way. That's the sort of attitude they have. So they do whatever they need to do to get the job done, to have an impact on someone's life. So the hero, you might want to be playing that archetype at a certain time of your life or during the day. And when I wrap this up, I'll explain sort of a bit more in clarity as to how they all sort of work out throughout the day. You got the lover. So they got strong feelings and emotion and attraction. They're very passionate, very loving and caring. That's that type of archetype. And then you got the ruler, who is about leadership, responsibility. They have authority. Someone that people look up to and use as a role model. So that's a ruler. And lastly, the 4th main one is an explorer. So we've had the hero, the lover, the ruler, and now we've got the explorer. Someone that just wants to go out there and find fulfillment. Someone wants to discover new things or find themselves. They have a sense of freedom, and they're out to experience more. So, for example, and as I wrap this all up, you've got, as I said, you can look up 12 archetypes on the internet to get them all. I think it's like a creator, there's a jester, someone that wants to be funny in certain situations and stuff like that. But, for example, if you're coming into work, and let's just say you're in a management position, or you're a team leader, or you're the CEO, or whatever it may be, you're not going to wear the hat or the archetype of a lover or a jester. It could get kind of weird in the workplace, if that makes sense. If you're a jester, people won't really take you seriously or think you're professional. If you're a lover, you probably could get like a class action put against you, like a lawsuit, sexual harassment. You don't want to do any of that. So make sure you're wearing the right hat or playing the role, or having the right archetype in place. And also, when you're I guess say, with your partner, the love of your life, someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you don't want to always be, the jester or the funny guy, because then you'll probably get friend zoned. And you don't want to be like a ruler all the time, because you've got to have compassion. You've got to understand the other person's wants, needs, and understand where they come from and what's important to them. So you don't want to be the ruler and have the dominant type, because they'll end up probably leaving you anyway. So friend zone leaving you, or you could play the role of the lover, understand, and you have an absolute amazing relationship. So that's something I definitely strive for, and am working really well on at the moment. So I'm very blessed to know that. So they're probably the last couple main points from the weekend that we had last weekend. So obviously, keeping just to recap, focusing on your awareness, your state, your story that you're telling yourself, and your strategy. Keeping it super simple, and all the archetypes which I just covered then. So that is it for this live post. A nice short one for you guys. If it did add value, definitely like, comment, share, tag someone in it, and also if you have any comments, definitely leave them down below. Give us your best takeaways or any things that do help you on the same line of those topics as well. Definitely reach out. I'd love to hear your feedback. But that's it from me, guys. Let's all continue to be the absolute best version of ourselves. I'll see you next time.